Hi everyone, my name is Carlton Herbert, and here's what I put together for Module 2.2, focusing on local and civic legacy. Um, Following in kind of the legacy of John McCain, I've put together a program for a McCain Library and Conference Center, as well as some archives and outdoor areas. Um, it will include a museum that will educate the community about John McCain and his impact. And it will also contain a library to connect with the great educational background that is in the area, with things like the ASU Tempe campus being nearby. It'll also connect well with the surrounding desert landscape. And I've integrated some sort of kind of a cliffside dwelling connection to it that pays an homage to some of the local peoples in the area, such as the Sinagua and Hohokam people, and the underground nature of some of it will also work well with the local climate in the area by taking advantage of some geothermal properties. And then I want to look at using some traditional adobe and mud kind of structures, since that also has a strong local precedent and would work well with the local climate. Just thinking about kind of John McCain and his influence, most of the inspiration from him comes through in this uh, program with kind of how the programs themselves are organized, and which features are included. Here's just some views around the site to give some context. Most of what I'm proposing is happening up on the plateau, where some kind of nearby where that existing building is. And I'm factoring in the transit and site context, as well as some of the ecology and climate, vegetation and green space, hydrology and geography, and zoning and urban structure, and then some demographics and equity. I began with some initial design sketches, working through a couple options, one being a tower, one being more rectangular, and then one being kind of more C-shaped. Um, and ultimately, I settled on kind of the rectangular form, but I wanted to take some pieces and kind of move them around. So it kind of resembles more of that bottom image there. And ultimately, this is kind of what it would look like from the aerial. I'm trying to tie in some aspects of kind of cliffside dwelling, and some of the native architecture of the area, with also some rectangular forms and low building heights, reintroducing some native vegetation, and then kind of repurposing, reusing some of the existing infrastructure. Here's a couple more views of that isometrically, and then here's kind of the overall site programming. So I'm using the existing roads and then kind of placing the building further down in the site to kind of direct visitors through the full site. Here's the building programming. You can see the museum, conference center, library and learning centers, service entry and archives, and then as well as some admin offices. The main level is the ground level here, and it features the museum, the admin offices, and some covered outdoor areas with an overlook. And then below ground is where we've got the conference center kind of sticking out halfway, and the library and learning center is fully underground, and then service entry and archives and kind of partly underground as well. A couple of views of the building elevations, and then here's the section to kind of give you an idea of what that's going to look like. And then to tie in with some views from the street, this is kind of what you'd be looking at if you're driving on the road nearby. Mostly unassuming and kind of built into that hill there. As well as the side approach here, same kind of thing, pretty low forms, and then from further away, you can see it almost kind of hides in the background compared to some of the taller buildings across the river. So ultimately, the design kind of integrates with local aspects by tying into John McCain and his local influence with the program, focusing on things like the McCain Library and the Conference Center, as well as tying into some of the local architecture of some of the native peoples in the area, with the kind of cliffside dwellings and some of the rectangular forms and low structure heights, and then integrating some kind of adobe or maybe some mud structures. So thanks for taking a look.